Hello everyone, welcome to today's session. I'm excited to introduce you to our topic, Mega Goal 1.2, Unit 2, I Wonder What Happened Writing. Today we'll explore some interesting ideas about storytelling and writing skills. We'll look at how to think critically about events and how to express our thoughts clearly through writing. So let's get started and enjoy the journey together. Let's take a closer look at this slide. First, you'll notice there are 5 paragraphs in total. These paragraphs are numbered from 5 down to 1, which helps us see the structure clearly. The main focus of this slide is about remote control. So, what is this article really about? Well, it explores how remote controls have become an essential part of our daily lives, making it easier to operate devices from a distance. Throughout the article, key points include the evolution of remote controls, their various types, and the benefits they bring in terms of convenience and efficiency. I want to emphasize that understanding these aspects helps us appreciate how technology continues to simplify our routines. Connecting this to our overall theme, remote controls are a perfect example of technological innovation improving user experience, which is a core focus of our presentation. Let's take a look at the history of remote control and see how it has evolved over time. The development of remote controls started back in the mid-20th century, when engineers and inventors began exploring ways to operate devices from a distance, making our lives more convenient. Early models were quite bulky and limited in functionality, but they laid the foundation for what was to come. As technology advanced, remote controls became smaller and more sophisticated. The introduction of infrared technology revolutionized how we interact with electronics, allowing for more reliable and user-friendly controls. This shift made it possible to control not just TVs, but a variety of home appliances, enhancing our everyday experience. Today, remote controls are smarter than ever, integrating wireless technologies like Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. This evolution reflects a broader trend towards automation and smarter homes. Understanding this history helps us appreciate how far we've come and why remote controls remain such a vital part of our daily lives. It connects directly to our overall theme of technological innovation and how it continually shapes our routines. Let's take a closer look at the history of remote control. As you can see on this slide, we're asked to complete a table that traces the key developments over time. Remote controls have come a long way, starting with early experiments in the mid-20th century. The first remote controls were quite bulky and used wired connections, which limited their practicality. Then, in the 1950s, the innovation of wireless remote controls began to take shape. One of the most famous early models was the Zenith Space Command, which used ultrasonic signals, quite a breakthrough at the time. Moving forward, the 1980s saw the advent of infrared technology, which became the standard for most consumer electronics. Infrared remotes were more affordable and easier to produce, making remote controls accessible to the average household. Later, in the 2000s, we saw the rise of universal remotes that could control multiple devices, simplifying our entertainment setups. More recently, smart remotes and voice-controlled devices are becoming commonplace, integrating seamlessly with our connected homes. Throughout this timeline, the core idea remains the same. Remote controls have evolved to make our lives more convenient, giving us control from a distance, whether it's a TV, a home theater system, or even smart appliances. So, as we connect these key points, it's clear that each technological leap has been about enhancing ease of use and expanding our control, an ongoing story that ties directly into the overall theme of innovation in user experience. As we move into the 2000s, we see the development of universal remote controls, which revolutionized how we interact with multiple devices. Instead of juggling different remotes, users could now control everything from one device, making life much more convenient. Looking back further, from the 70s onwards, remote controls became more sophisticated. They incorporated new technologies and features, allowing for more precise control and even the ability to program or customize functions. This era marked a significant leap in remote control technology, making devices more user-friendly and versatile. Earlier still, we have the very first television remote controls. These initial versions were quite basic, simple and somewhat bulky, but they laid the groundwork for the remote controls we use today. They represented a major shift from manual operation to remote operation, changing how viewers interacted with their TVs. Before that, there were some early examples of remote control devices. These were often experimental or rudimentary, but they demonstrated the potential for wireless control and set the stage for future innovations. Finally, I want to emphasize that the theme here is how remote controls evolved from simple, manual devices to sophisticated, universal tools. This progression reflects broader technological advances and our increasing desire for convenience and control over our entertainment and electronics. Today, I want to focus on the importance of the writing task within our overall project. Writing isn't just about putting words on paper. It's about clearly communicating our ideas and making sure our message resonates. When we approach writing, we need to be thorough, ensuring we cover all key points in a way that's easy to understand. But it's also important to keep our tone conversational, engaging our audience, making the content relatable. Highlighting the most important concepts helps us stay focused and ensures our message stays clear. Remember, the writing task connects directly to our overall theme by reinforcing our main ideas and supporting our goals. So, as we work through this, think of writing as a bridge, linking our ideas with clarity and purpose. This approach not only enhances our communication, but also strengthens the impact of our entire presentation. Let's take a closer look at this example. When I say wood, think about how important natural resources like timber were for exploration and shipbuilding. Moving on to the Pacific, this refers to the vast region that was largely unexplored at the time, full of mystery and potential discoveries. Yes, it was a significant moment in history because exploring the Pacific opened up new routes, new lands, and new knowledge. When I mention the British Navy, I want to emphasize how powerful and influential maritime forces were in expanding the British Empire and supporting these expeditions. Now, the first scientific expedition to the Pacific highlights how exploration wasn't just about claiming land. It was also about understanding the environment, the peoples, and the natural history of these distant regions. This marked a shift towards scientific inquiry and exploration. First Sea Voyage refers to the pioneering journeys that set the stage for future exploration efforts. And finally, James Cook's voyage is a key example. His voyages in the late 18th century transformed our knowledge of the Pacific, mapping uncharted islands and collecting valuable scientific data. All these points connect to our overall theme of exploration, how curiosity, technological advances, and a desire for discovery drove these historic voyages and expanded our understanding of the world. A descriptive essay is essentially a piece of writing that focuses on describing something. It could be an object, a person, an event, a place, or even an emotion or idea. The main goal here is to give the reader enough detailed descriptions so they can visualize or imagine the topic clearly. When you're writing a descriptive essay, think about including sensory details, what you see, hear, smell, touch, or taste, so the reader feels immersed. This type of essay helps bring the subject to life through vivid language and specific imagery. Overall, it's about creating a picture with words that allows the reader to experience the subject as if they were right there with you. Ahora, en la última parte de nuestra presentación, vamos a hablar sobre la conclusión. Aquí, comparto las opinions, sentimientos y comentarios que surgirán después del evento, así como los resultados finales. Es importante entender cómo estas experiencias afectaron a todos los involucrados y qué conclusions sacamos. Primero, quiero mencionar que las personas que participaron expresaron sentimientos de satisfacción y orgullo por lo que lograron. Muchos comentaron que la experiencia les ayudó a comprender mejor el tema y a fortalecer su trabajo en equipo. Sus opinions reflejaron un entusiasmo renovado y un interés en seguir aprendiendo. Luego, en cuanto a los comentarios, Algunos destacaron la importancia de la organización y la preparación previa. Otros mencionaron que, aunque hubo algunos desafíos, todos se sintieron motivados para superar los obstáculos y aprovechar al máximo la oportunidad. Por último, los resultados finales mostraron que el evento fue un éxito en general. Se lograron los objetivos propuestos, y los participantes adquirieron nuevas habilidades y conocimientos. Estos resultados nos motivan a seguir mejorando, y a planear futuras actividades similares con más entusiasmo y preparación. Now, to effectively write a descriptive essay, it's important to follow these key steps. First, start with a clear and engaging introduction that captures the reader's attention and sets the scene. Next, develop the body of your essay with vivid and detailed descriptions, using sensory language to bring your subject to life. Remember to organize your ideas logically, guiding the reader through your observations smoothly. Finally, conclude by summarizing your main points and leaving a lasting impression. Throughout this process, always connect your descriptions back to your overall theme or message, making your essay cohesive and impactful. Following these steps will help you craft a compelling and vivid descriptive essay that truly resonates with your audience.